Yo, what's going on, gang? Today I wanted to talk about some of the most impressive changes in Warzone for Black Ops 7 Season 1, which actually came out today. So if you haven't gotten in there and you get in with this, hop in there, check it out. It's pretty fun. One of the biggest changes they've added to Warzone, this is going to be called the rock, paper, scissors system, which is what they slate right here. Is what they refer to as. Starting in Season 1, the stim shot can be used immediately after being hit by a flash or concussion grenade to remove their effects entirely. Basically, this whole method, there's always going to be one that can cancel out the other. You know, so it's like, what, paper beats rock, you know, rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper. You know, it's like an infinite loop. Same thing. So stims are going to eradicate flash and concussion. Those looking to push through area denial, the smoke grenade can now douse lingering flames left by a Molotov cocktail, even a napalm strike. So there's different ways to combat each thing. Obviously, the stim shot can be combated just by, you know, lighting somebody up. So each thing kind of has something to be combated by now, which is really nice. It says, together, these updates reinforce the central design goal for the year to make choices more meaningful, to sharpen the identity of every item and perk, and to evolve Warzone's foundation without compromising the experience players know and love. I think people take secondaries for granted, and like the only way I can explain this, when Al Mazrah came out, when the big Al Mazrah map came out, everybody was playing Warzone 2. There were so many barren open spots in that desert to cross. Everybody would run smoke grenades. You would constantly see smokes. In the first Warzone in Verdansk, when it was first out, you didn't see smoke grenades like that. I mean, people used them, but not like they did Al Mazrah. And when we got out of Al Mazrah back to Verdansk, you started seeing people running more smoke screens. It was something that the game kind of like adapted, and players started to realize the value behind it. You know, most of the time in a battle royale, especially COD, where you're just moving, shooting, ripping, you know, you see a smoke grenade, you pick it up, you're like, I don't need this, and you keep going. You know, you're like, I don't need tacticals, I'm about to just fry out. When you get an update like this, though, it absolutely gives everything its own identity. Stim shots are arguably the most important thing to carry on you now. Flash and concussion, that's nuts. That changes close quarter combat in Warzone indefinitely. I mean, that's massive. And then also smoke grenades for Molotovs or napalms. I mean, if you want to be a rat and you want to hang out in a room, you know, and they throw a Molotov in on you, you can absolutely throw a smoke and use the smoke not only to put out the fire, but to get away. Pretty solid. It says right here at the bottom, though, it says, but this is just a starting point for the year. As players dig into the new perk ecosystem, we will be closely monitoring performance data and community feedback to identify areas that are not competitive enough and make additional tuning passes where needed. Our goal is to keep this system evolving throughout the year. Through targeted adjustments that strengthen, build diversity, maintain a healthy balance, and ensure that every perk choice remains a meaningful decision across all playstyles. In fact, we already have another slate of changes lined up as early as Season 2. That's another thing with COD. Perks in Warzone have always been set. Everybody runs the same perks. Maybe there's like, you have like two groups, you know, you're either running Group A or Group B, but there wasn't like Group C, Group D, Group B. I'm thinking with this, though, they're doing a better job to diversify per play style on perks. Basically, they're focusing on giving everything an identity, which is huge. The second you give an item like an actual identity, it changes the course of a game. It changes your thinking process too. If something doesn't have an identity, you're never going to bring it into thought of what your next move would be in a battle royale, right? Like a game where it matters, last man standing. You got to be the last man, last team standing. But if you give these things identities, now your entire way of thinking through a match just changed because you're adding new items to it that you would have never thought to have before. I think they're doing an excellent job right now with Warzone, and I really like these changes. I'm excited to see how they continue to grow it and continue to build it. Especially with, you know, release of big maps coming soon. So it's getting exciting, gang. It's getting really exciting. But listen, if you're new to the channel and enjoy the content, I need you to hit that sub, Crush that light. I'll catch you all tomorrow for another Heat Seeker. Let's get it again.